guys, welcome back to the channel. And this is Revisit Bike Week. I'm going back to a few bikes that have been hanging on that wall over there, and started pulling them down and started playing with them again, and just kind of gone through and dusted them off and took them outside for a ride, and just got to keep those gears moving. You guys probably remember this bike. This is my 1973 Sunset Orange Varsity, and it was one of probably my third restoration that I did. It was more of a rescue. When I bought the bike, I got it on eBay, and the whole bottom bracket was basically rotting out. Got it for a pretty good price, and then I put a bunch of money into it, including relaced the rear wheel, got new spokes on it, and put a lot of work into it. And I kept the original paint. I did some touch up on the bottom bracket area, and I just kind of did a sunburst, like a reddish color that I just got at Home Depot, and just blended it in there. I remember like if it was just yesterday, and I remember the bike was in really bad shape. The chrome was bad. I did replace all that chrome, and then I went ahead and checked out the bottom bracket. That's the color that I used. It was pretty close. So I went ahead and sanded it down. I went ahead and put a coat of primer. Gave it like 3 coats to ensure that it was definitely gonna, stay in good shape. And then I started adding the coats of the orange, and I went ahead and extended it to the stays. And then once I got done with that, I decided to go ahead and extend it further up into the paint. You can see how it blends in like a sunburst effect. Once I put the chrome on, it started to really take shape, and it definitely came out much better than it looked. Well, yeah, there's that bottom bracket area, and you can see how it's a little bit reddish compared to the rest of the orange, but it worked out, because I used that to split it, that derailleur. Then I just blended it right there. If you notice how it just gets redder as you get to the bottom bracket. But this whole area here was cooked, and it looked like a brand new bike. But this bike's been in the garage after I started collecting more and more bikes. It lost its space inside, so I had to bring it out here. And this is what happens in the garage. As soon as you bring something out here, see the pedals started to rust already, and these things were spotless when I got done with this. So I went to go back and get them done. Same with the kickstand. Got rusty again. Rims stayed pretty clean. I just dusted it off. I'm actually gonna go ride it now. It hasn't been ridden in at least 3 years. These bikes, after I do them, I hang them up, and then I keep getting bikes, and then I don't get back around to it. Anyway, so this restoration actually is all coming back to me now. When I did it, I remember redoing that whole bottom bracket area, like I said before. And then this is a brand new one-piece crank I put on it, because the one that was on there was pretty chewed up, especially both of the arms were just eaten away, especially the other side. And I did replace the derailleur, because that one was all, rusted out. So that's what I remember doing now. And I did put all new cables on it when I did it, new bar tape, and of course new brakes, new tires. These were the tires I was buying before the Kendas. I forgot what brand these were, but they weren't too bad. But I like the Kendas better. But yeah, it's all coming back to me now. When I did this thing in 2014, I think was when I did it. So let's go ahead and take her outside. There she is out here. Some of these early bikes didn't get any real videos done for them. Especially this one, I just had that video with the Van Halen song playing behind it and showed some of the restoration things on it. So this is really a unique color. It's got all the basic stuff that you see on Varsities, including the side pull brakes, the non-tubular forks, and it's got the Winan brake levers with the dual position handles as well, dual stick shifts. Vintage Schwinn big time. Took this to the bike shop, and man, it turned heads. All the customers and shop guys were checking it out, especially because the color just catches your eye. So I took it out for a spin and heard this. I don't know if you can hear that. and it's spinning just fine, but at the same time, I don't know if there's something making those bearings grind a little bit. And this is a bike that when I first got it, I had the bike shop actually redo the hubs and relace that back rim. But I can't remember if I had him do the front, so I'm gonna check it out. Even though it's spinning like it's got plenty of grease in it, like it spins forever. But that noise, I heard it when I was riding it, and first I thought it was the brakes rubbing, but it isn't. Just checked them. So I'm gonna take it apart and check it out. Got in there, and the grease was certainly fresh enough, and there was plenty of it. But I noticed that these had caged bearings, which I don't think I've ever seen in a hub. So that's the dust cover, and when I took that off, I was kind of surprised to see the caged bearings, and that could possibly be why it was making that little noise. You know, it was spinning just fine, but I could hear something. And I think if I just do the bearings without the cage, there'll probably be you know, less friction, because everything looked good. The cones, and there's plenty of grease in there, so I'll clean those races out and it should work better. And then this looked pretty good too as well, you know, so I'll go ahead and put just the regular, I'm pretty sure they're 532s, so I'm gonna put those in there. Actually, this says right here, the 316s. And luckily I happen to have a baggie of those. I had a baggie of the 532s, so we'll go ahead and get those uncaged. They seem to be in pretty good shape. But I'll bet you that noise I was hearing was definitely from that cage bearing, so let's see if it makes a difference. We did 9 and really packed them. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the cover on this side and then flip it over and do the same thing. All right, got the wheel back on, and not a sound. So very nice, those things are rolling nicely. And it'll spin forever. So I'll go ahead and get the brakes back on it. But yeah, very excited. This thing's gonna probably be great tomorrow. I can't wait to ride it. Clean out that hub a little bit more. It was actually just dusty, but I went ahead and did the polishing on it. These Schwinn hubs are definitely, you know, very nice. Clean up really, you know, really well. Just like those rims. Well, here we are. It's Sunday, Mother's Day, and it's been raining all day here in South Florida. It's a little darker than it looks in the camera. So, but anyway, getting ready to have dinner. Finally got the pedals completed. Check that out. Rust is gone. You know, I never really looked at how cool that Schwinn logo is on these. This thing's pretty clean. Usually these things get all boogered up, but this looks pretty good. So got that back. Done again. So glad to get these pedals back in shape. And once I ride it, I will take these off and just store them inside to avoid them from getting rusty again, because that will happen out here with the humidity and everything. But tomorrow, when it's not raining, hopefully we'll take her out for a spin again and see how that front wheel does compared to before when I was making that little rattling noise. So it should be good to go now. Definitely very quiet. And I'm pretty sure what it was just that cage was rubbing up against the races. And even though the wheel was spinning well, because it was, you know, nice and lubed, that little extra piece of hardware in there definitely, you know, was rubbing up against the hub, so that should do it better. All right, well, I want to keep pulling these bikes out of the wall here and getting them updated and working on them and reintroduce you to them, because again, these bikes you saw before, but then they kind of went into hiding for a long time and never got really a video that went through the whole bike. So let's get outside tomorrow. All right, we'll take her for a little ride. Again, these things are so much fun to ride. All this weight, all this chrome, all this tape. It's another weird, coolish night out here. It's probably in the mid-70s, which is really rare for South Florida this time of the year. Middle of May. So, yeah, it was a nice ride. I think really rides smooth. And I forgot to mention when I was riding it, this thing definitely is very quiet now. So it's confirmed those cage bearings definitely do make a little bit of a rattle. I think the next one I'm going to do is going to be my Campus Green. I bought that one and never did anything to it except ride it. It's got the wrong color cables, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it up to speed. This color was introduced in 1973 and they did it again in 74, and that was it. Same year that they introduced the 73 Sunset Orange Crate. That was a 1-year color, pretty cool. And I also have a 1973 Sunset Orange Continental, which I got in really good shape, and I've been hiding it for a long time, so I can't wait to get that one out. But yeah, this bike again, with the new tape and the touch-up paint on it, really turned into a nice rider. Really like it a lot. So glad to get it back out. Alright guys, well stay tuned for the next one. And also, if you guys have bikes that you want to see on my channel, I have a community page and I want to start featuring my viewers' bikes on there. I know a lot of you guys send me emails telling me that you have cool bikes you want to show off. This is your opportunity. So look at the email on the link below and send me an email with pictures of the bike you want to feature, and I'll list it on my community page. A lot of great bikes out there, and I want everybody to be able to see them. I tell you what, these old one-piece cranks definitely shine nicely. Chrome on these bikes really holds up throughout the years. So these Schwinn's definitely put a little polish in them, and they look amazing, including the brakes. Alright guys, enjoy the rest of your week, and thanks for watching.